It's hard to believe, but on May 24th, it will have been a year since Tina Turner died. If Tina was still alive, she would turn 85 on November 26th. 2024 is also the 40th anniversary of her iconic album, Private Dancer. The multi-platinum album yielded huge hits like the title track, Better Be Good to Me, and of course, her signature song, What's Love Got to Do with It? This is a tribute to Tina Turner. And in her honor, I'm going to break down one of her classic music videos for her 1990 hit single, Steamy Windows. While Steamy Windows isn't as obvious a choice as What's Love Got to Do with It or Proud Mary, it's a song that, in my opinion, encapsulates her singular talent for combining R&B and rock with an underpinning of funk and blues. Tina Turner is known as the Queen of Rock and Roll, and rightfully so. But I would actually crown her the queen of rock and soul because she fused black music with what is typically considered white rock music. The music video for Steamy Windows accompanied the single's international release in February 1990. The song was written by Tony White and produced by Dan Hartman, who is familiar to pop fans for his hit 1984 song I Can Dream About You. Steamy Windows is featured on Tina's multi-platinum 1989 Foreign Affair album, and the single topped several charts in the US and abroad. The Steamy Windows music video consists of several relatively simple setups. Tina doesn't even have any costume changes, an example of the less is more approach to this music video. Tina is clad in a simple white mini dress, accessorized only by a tasteful string of pearls. Tina dons her trademark high heels, and the black stilettos offset the pristine white dress. And I have to say, the dress that Tina wears in Steamy Windows really shows off her sex appeal. I was a preteen when Tina made her big comeback in the 80s, and I've always been a big fan. However, because Tina was between the age of my mom and my grandmother, I didn't look at her as a sex symbol at the time. When I was younger, I saw her in more of a maternal kind of way. But Steamy Windows really captures Tina's sexy vibe. In the video, she's not doing anything unladylike. She's very ladylike and classy, as she always was. And just from the way she moves, you can really see how fit and shapely she was. And she was 50 years old when she made this video. Steamy Windows really shows Tina's beauty. As she wrote in her second autobiography, My Love Story, people would sometimes mistakenly think that the distinctive blonde wig she wore was her actual hair. Tina said she styled her own wigs, and while she wasn't a professional hairstylist, she knew how to style her wigs so that they looked natural and complemented her skin tone. The camera angles in Steamy Windows really capture her not only as a great entertainer, but one of the world's great beauties. With the Steamy Windows music video, the main setup is very simple. It's a vibrant shot in full color of Tina singing and dancing in front of a white backdrop. There's a light filter creating a lacy pattern that moves on the backdrop. It's not a huge, flashy special effect, and this simple lighting technique creates movement. Another setup is musicians and dancers playing instruments and moving in front of a black backdrop. Another simple special effect that is used is smoke pumping into the set with the black backdrop, at times completely covering the camera lens so that the viewer can barely see what's happening on screen. Another setup is Tina singing and dancing in front of the same black backdrop as the musicians and dancers. This setup provides an eye-catching contrast to Tina singing and dancing in front of the white backdrop. The lighting with Tina in front of the white backdrop is very natural, soft kind of lighting. The lighting with the black backdrop is very stark lighting. It's so harsh that it seems almost overexposed. And in the black and white shots, the camera is in soft focus, as opposed to the crisp, sharp focus of the color shots of Tina in front of the white backdrop. The black and white shots, with the smoke pumping in, create a kind of mysterious, almost film noir kind of vibe. Another setup is of a couple making out in a car, which is a literal interpretation of the lyrics. And even though this setup is very on the nose, it just goes to show that sometimes less is more. A music video, or any work of art for that matter, doesn't have to be highly conceptual to get its point across. Sometimes the most straightforward approach, if done well, can be very effective, as in this video. The Steamy Windows music video was directed by Andy Morahan. In my research before making this video, I watched a few of Andy Morahan's other music videos that are available on YouTube, such as Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, Kim Wilde's The Second Time, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark's So in Love, and the Pet Shop Boys' Opportunities, Let's Make Lots of Money. You'll notice these are all British groups, and Morahan himself is British. And when Tina was making her big comeback in the 80s, she lived in London for a time, so it makes sense that she'd work with Morahan. Judging from the other music videos Morahan made, he has a distinctive style. His style is not as distinctive as someone like Herb Ritts, the famed fashion photographer who made music videos like Janet Jackson's Love Will Never Do Without You and Madonna's Cherish, which came out around the same time as Tina's Steamy Windows. However, in Morahan's music videos, there are common elements and themes, such as combining black and white and color footage, a simple setup with a singer in front of a backdrop filmed from multiple angles, people driving along in cars, and smoke and steam special effects. I would recommend studying Morahan's work and the work of other music videos if, like me, you aspire to direct music videos. My analysis of Tina Turner's Steamy Windows music video originally started out as a quote-unquote film school exercise for myself. To improve my filmmaking skills, I make a curriculum for myself every year in which I study other directors' work. So, starting last fall, I sat down to freeze frame every shot of Tina's Steamy Windows music video and analyze the camera angles, lighting, etc. Since the song is less than 5 minutes long, I thought conducting this experiment would only take a few hours. However, I soon realized that I had underestimated how complex this music video is. In fact, it's deceptively simple. And I discovered in the painstaking process of breaking down this video, it's made up of nearly 400 individual shots. There's a new shot every 1 to 2 seconds, with some shots lasting only for a split second. And something that's important to note is that although the setups in this music video are simple, nothing in this video is cheap looking. It has that sleek, minimalist vibe of high fashion shoots from the 80s and early 90s. There's a lot of movement in these simple setups. Tina and the dancers executing choreography, Tina and the dancers whipping their heads back and whipping their hair around, and or a wind machine whipping their hair around. Musicians playing their instruments while dramatically whipping their heads back. The camera pushing in and slightly rotating around the performers, etc. The pumping smoke, the lacy light filter, the couple driving along in the car at certain points also create movement. Simple, practical effects that make the shots not static and boring, but dynamic and eye-catching, holding the viewer's attention. This video is a prime example of what has been termed MTV-style camera work and editing, with lots of movement and quick cuts. It's amazing how seamless these hundreds of shots look edited together when you watch the video straight through. It really flows and moves. An excellent classic music video, and you'd expect nothing less from the queen of rock and soul.